There we go. Now things are connected properly. Let me see, make sure everything is on the up and up. We got Spotify running. We got my mic running. Audio sources seem alright. Wicked, how are you doing today? Yeah, everything seems to be okay. And I got it on the YouTube feed. Oh man, it has been a week. I guess I'll start with an apology. I wasn't streaming nearly as much as I thought I'd be this week. I ran into a whole bunch of overtime in the middle of the week, and on top of everything else, I was just too exhausted because the work has been especially rough this week for some reason. I'm not actually sure why. Probably just because everything on my timesheet seems a little overwhelming, even though it all gets cut down to 8 hours eventually, right? Like, my boss in my employment has been pretty good about work-life balance so far, but sometimes you wake up to a timesheet that says you have like 24 hours worth of work ahead of you, even though you're not doing all 24 hours, you're doing 8 of those. It's like you don't know what to prioritize right away. So it's a little rough, you know? It's a little rough. And even if you do have everything squared away and you're only working 8 hours, you're also thinking, my God, that's a lot of work waiting for me in the future that I have to eventually get to, or else our clients will be unhappy. But yeah, that just worked for you. It's not uncommon. The system is better than what I was working on previously, which often left me with like months worth of no work whatsoever to do. And I was paid salary at the time, so, you know, technically I'm being paid not to do anything, but it also feels bad. Feels bad, you know? I like, not necessarily productive, but contributive. I like to feel like whatever I'm doing is contributing to the overall welfare of the group effort that we're putting in. And that is not necessarily the case with my previous job. But I like to find a balance. I like to find a balance where I'm not stressed all the time, but I'm also feeling like I'm contributing to something. And I also like to be paid more to do less, which is everybody's wishes, but that tends to be the thing, right? The higher up your position, you find that the things you do, especially if you work in multiple fields before, what you will generally find is that the fields that pay you the best don't necessarily give you the most work or even the most valuable work. Like, what they call value versus what you're actually contributing tends to be at odds sometimes. CEOs offer very little value for the sheer wealth that they claim. Definitely not to the same level as they generate. But me complaining about that should be old hat for you all by now. If I ever do retire one of these days, because it's not as if I'm ever going to like stop streaming, right? Streaming gives me a structured reason to produce weird content, and that's all the reason I need to do to stream at least once a week. If I have to reduce it all the way down to once a month, right? But it's fun. For me, it's just a lot of fun. Having an excuse to do weird shit and do side projects and to give artists my money to do cool shit with it, that is more than enough reason for me to stick around. But I would like to do that more on a full-time basis, right? And I can't really do that right now. Not until I find employment elsewhere, at least. Which is not fun. It's not fun. It's not as if I'm planning to quit anytime soon, because really, why would I? I'm being paid decently right now. Not enough to retire on or even think about retiring. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be... Pretty sure like the rest of my generation, I'll probably be... You'll find me one day at age 80 slumped over my desk having worked like 24-hour shift on a project. And that's how most of us will be going. After like three 3 global market crashes in a row. But that's depressing to think about. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about fun stuff, like the fact that I signed up for Idol Showdown come Evo as one of the community tournaments on the side. I also, it's a little bittersweet, right? I bought a really expensive traditional arcade stick because I thought I would need it for Street Fighter 6, but I also managed to secure one of the call-in slots, the will call slots, rather, for what's it called? Junk Food Arcade's Snackbox Micro 2023 Evo Edition, right? It comes with a little art case, and it can replace the art if I ever want to. That's all nice and all, with the caveat that it was a really expensive thing. It also means that it makes my current stick redundant, which is good. Because if you were watching my Twitch stream earlier this week, during like the one time I was able to stream this week, you would find that I was finding a lot of frustration trying to relearn traditional stick mechanics. Analog sticks are really finicky, and because my hands like to make big sweeping motions, they're not a good fit for the really precise stick controls. Button pressing is a lot more reliable for me, it turns out, which is not surprising whatsoever. But it does mean I have a redundant stick. However, rather than simply shipping it back to Amazon, I think I'm going to do something fun with it. I am going to use this stick as a tournament prize, and I'm going to organize a VFGC tournament sometime after Evo. Because God knows I cannot do it right now. I have no mental bandwidth whatsoever to do it right now. Oh, I should actually tweet out that I'm streaming now. But yeah, it'll be sometime after Evo. I'm thinking whether or not I should save it for a birthday stream, but that's honestly really far away. That's like half a year away, so probably not. But yeah, it will be the first prize. I will get custom art for it, printed out and replaced, because it has a nice little laminate plate to do that easily. And I will cast the tournament. It'll be my first time doing so under this alias. It won't be my first time casting a tournament overall, but it's been a very, very long time. So that's where I am with the stick. That's like $500 down over the course of 2 months. Blech. Not fun. But at least I'll be able to give back to the community some way, this way. And it won't be a total loss, because experience is a lot more important than money. Even though I don't have that much money. Especially after the Game 2 sticks. Man. Some shit is just rough. But yeah, I've signed up for Idol Showdown, which means that I will probably be doing 3 game streams this week, practicing each of the games I plan to compete at Evo. To reiterate, that's Guilty Gear Strive, that is Street Fighter 6 back on pad, thank God, and that will be Idol Showdown. But there's one caveat, there's another caveat with Idol Showdown actually. As of the current patch on Idol Showdown, it's still not compatible with leverless sticks. Its button control scheme is really finicky, so I have to do something about that. I have to actually bring my keyboard to play Idol Showdown, which is fine because it's a Steam only game right now. That's simple enough though. What else this week? Pretty much everything is for Evo prep at the moment. That's all that's been on my mind. I've been thinking a little burnt out on playing nothing but fighting games for a while, but I kind of have to keep on focusing if I want to be prepared for Evo. Evo itself will be a lot of fun. But man, just because I like playing fighting games a lot doesn't mean I want to play that. I don't want it to be my content exclusively, right? So starting from like mid-August onwards, I'm definitely going to try to do a little more DIY streams, maybe some cooking streams now that I have my harness set up. And of course, I will have my gunning kids that have waiting for me in the corner over there, just waiting, begging to be built, that I've ignored for a while because I've been doing nothing but FGC practice. Today is also the Collision monthly, which I missed because I completely forgot about it. And also, I'm just like not feeling very social recently. I'm pretty sure I burned through my socialization batteries with the discussion panel we had a couple weeks ago, which is again a lot of fun. But also, I'm so tired now. It just drained it right out of me. I think like one major collab a month is about right. Cause like all of my jobs have involved some level of socialization, especially like client level stuff, or when I was doing journalism, sourcing and interviews, which is all stuff that I'd say I got pretty good at it, despite the fact that's not a natural personality fit. I very much lean towards introversion. I don't like going out too much to interact with crowds unless it's fully under my decision to do so. Like I planned it a long time ahead. I really drain really easily. Even during off-kai, I was like, sure, getting drinks with everybody was fun and all. It was a lot of fun, actually. I'm not going to dismiss it. I'm not going to downplay that at all. I'm not so much of an introvert that I don't have fun in crowds at all. But I run out of energy, definitely. Absolutely 100% I run out of energy. And also, I just like hit the brick wall at times where like the serotonin melts out of my brain. I'm left feeling like, oh, I really don't feel it right now. That's an awkward thing to feel, you know? Like, I'm old enough now to have developed a whole bunch of ways to work around those situations and don't feel too bad about it. Can like keep myself going through a social environment for however long I'm needed there. But at the end of the night, I'm just feeling like I need to be alone in a dark room and not looking at or thinking about anything except for what's on the screen in front of me. You know, just need to rebuild my energy reservoirs. Alcohol helps though, always does. That's why it exists. Alcohol will make an extrovert out of most introverts. Some people it really doesn't help at all. But in my case, it does help. A little bit of soju, a little bit of beer, and I'm okay. But yeah. Shit's been rough. This week has been rougher than previous. I really want to go back to writing. I've been meaning to finish a nameless theater project for over half a year now. I have left it in the back burner for so long because I after reading the first draft of it, I realized it needed to be completely reworked. The general theme is what I'm going for, but the overall pace, narrative, and structure of it had to be completely redone. Like that's just ugh. But that was true for the first story. The first story still wasn't very good. It's still better than the original draft, but that's the way it is. I have to train my brain to think like a writer again. And that just means doing it a little more often. But yeah. Like the Nameless Theater Project, if you haven't seen the original short story I released, basically have a unifying overall theme, right? And they're not supposed to be all horror projects. I think the thing about what I was trying to write before was that I was trying not to be influenced by certain Taiwanese horrors I've seen before, but unfortunately, about halfway through the writing, it turned out that I was writing effectively the same story as one of the movies I've seen. Without meaning to. We were just thinking along the same paths about like certain overall cultural themes, and unfortunately they came with the same conclusions as I did about the overall structure and how it affects people, right? It's kind of cool that we're thinking in like the same overall direction. It also kind of sucks that I wasn't able to do anything original with it, and I'm hoping with the one that I wanted to do next, I'm able to do so. I also think I need to find a side gig. If only because I have an anniversary project in mind that's going to be very, very expensive that I've already contacted my VTuber model for to lay the initial groundwork. I just want to have the conceptual art done first before I proceed with anything else. But it will be a lot of work. It'll be a very, very, very long development, partially because I need to save up a lot of money for it in order to commission the people that are capable of doing the level of quality I'm expecting for this. Like, I'm still not able, like, no matter how much money I make, it's still going to be a availability issue for a lot of the artists and riggers I'm especially impressed with, as a hint for what I'm trying to do. But there's a lot more people than like the top 3 that I'm really impressed with, that I'm still really, really want to eventually have a chance of working with, right? And projects like these are a way to network with people, to get on a professional basis with them, to reach out, and to hopefully develop on that. And I'm hoping that will continue to be true. But yeah, I need to find not just my current model artist, well, my primary model artist, let's put, it's better to put, but probably an audio engineer of some sort as well, either just mixing or multitasking sort. I don't necessarily want like the top of the top, the ones that are really, really popular with the VTuber world, but definitely some of the folks that I've hung out with and respect the work of. And they're not, I want the value of their time to be reflected with our relationship professionally as well. So that just adds to the cost. And the model alone is going to be the most expensive thing I've purchased in a long time. So I really have to save up for that. But all that's going to the main task of all that has to be after Evo, right? Has to be. Because right now that's going to be probably the most expensive trip of this year. I don't know whether or not I will plan to do another one at the end of the year to visit my nephews. I do want to though, because family's important. But yeah. Speaking of important things, health is important. And I bought a whole bunch of exercise equipment lately to help complement my routine, which currently has primarily been Stepmania. I primarily use the works of Whaley and Kyoki Shinsa, who are community Stepmania chart artists, right? They make charts for Stepmania play for both keyboard and pad. And both of them do a lot of Hololive stuff. There's also this dude that does, what was it? The Nijisanji Step Mania pack was done by, what's his name? I forgot. Lead Light. Does a Step, Nijisan's the only song pack for Stepmania. And I've been training quite successfully using almost exclusively them. For both fitness and weight loss, and it has been shockingly successful. Actually, I have lost a lot of weight. If I currently a total of over 50 pounds. Okay, 50 pounds lost. I was a chunkster. I was chunky as hell. I still am. That's why I could afford to lose 50 pounds in the first place. Okay, okay. Let's pull back the curtain a little bit and reveal a little bit more about who I am and what I have done. And let me tell you, none of this has been easy. Stepmania alone has melted away the weight and I still have more to go. But I'm feeling as if just doing Stepmania to the point where my calves are monstrous is not quite enough. So one, I got some ankle weights so I can do so that I don't max out all my leg training, right? With just my body weight, because especially as I lose more weight, I have to increase the resistance in order to keep it as effective as it was when I started out. So I got ankle weights for that. I also have some rubber bands for resistance training. And two, just now from Prime Day, I got a set of battle ropes, which are those like really heavy thick cables that you're supposed to do like arm and shoulder training with. Let me tell you, I thought they were going to be like, it's kind of like whatever, right? Like if you played what's it, Beat Saber, you think that's going to be a lot of exercise, but it turns out that waving your arms around full body isn't as effective as just simply like using your wrist to point to stuff, right? To like really go for high precision attacks on the songs. And it turns out you don't actually do much exercise that way. But battle ropes are different. Battle ropes are a lot of resistance. Battle ropes really hurt my shoulders. I am so sore today. I am so sore. I got plenty of vitamin D by just sweating it out outdoors with a set of battle ropes until my shoulders just screamed. I did like 1.5 sets and I was done, completely wiped out. Now saying that, I realized that in about like 2 or 3 months, my current set's going to feel completely inadequate. And I know this because that's how it was with Stepmania. It used to be that I got completely winded for the day with less than 30 minutes worth of play, if not just 15 minutes. And then now I'm doing like hour sets and thinking, you know what, maybe I should do a little more. Nah, I don't want to injure myself. It's surprising how quickly your body adapts to this kind of shit, right? So yeah, I've been doing a lot of exercise. It feels really silly to be squatting there waving around a bunch of ropes until you realize that about halfway through, you're breathing really heavily and your shoulders are about to crap out. At that point, you realize, oh, this shit has a lot of merit, and also I'm exhausted, and also why am I still doing this? I want to stop. It's no longer fun. Pause that one. Actually, that's the wrong one. Cancel it. So yeah, if you've been thinking to yourself, I should really be exercising more, there's a very easy solution to that. Get a dance pad, download a bunch of VTuber songs, and get some really ripped ankles. It's gonna hurt. Definitely stretch. The few times I forget to stretch, I have severely regretted it. Do not forget to stretch. I'm begging of you, do not forget to stretch. It will suck otherwise. I'm tired. I'm just really tired. Also, get some protein, because it turns out that there's a reason why exercise nuts buy protein a lot. It isn't simply to like make their muscles big, right? No. It's because if you don't drink a lot of protein immediately after exercising and you just completely forget about it at all, and all you do is hydrate, what's going to happen is that you're going to be sore the next day as your body goes through its reservoirs trying to knit together the micro tears you've done throughout your entire body. Well, especially the muscles you use during the exercise. It turns out, if you drink a lot of protein, you hurt less the next day. That's why they do it. If you've done any research on exercising, this is not anything new to you, but I refused to exercise for years because I'm lazy. but it turns out it really helps. It really helps. It doesn't help enough for me to be doing the same exercise routine the next day. So definitely, if I'm doing Stepmania one day, the next day I'm absolutely refusing to move I'm absolutely refusing to move this butt, because it's gonna hurt too much. It's gonna hurt too much. But yeah, I'm actually thinking about getting maybe like not ankle weights, wrist weights as well. It's like the smaller wrist weights for not Beatmania, although it probably will help, but for sync riders, which because it has you hold position like up, hold your hands above and to the sides and move them like above shoulder level, and it stresses the stresses the shoulders and the biceps and triceps a lot more than Beatmania otherwise forces you to, unless you play Beatmania in hard mode. That's it, not hard mode within Beatmania itself, but like not using wrist, using mostly arm movements, right? But Sync Riders gets around that and actually forces you to exercise properly, especially with its punch mode, which records like how fast your hands are moving to record the hits on the dots. And I'm thinking, sure, if you play about 30 minutes of it, your shoulders start to burn, but I could probably make it burn even harder and more immediately by just attaching like a pound to my wrists each, right? And I just need to like devise a good just buy really a good wrist weight system to help with that, and that'll work. What else is in my Amazon store? I know I was thinking about other stuff. Oh, right. My M. Rage jacket came in, which is like a really nerdy ass like techwear company, right? That does like, recently they did they've done a lot of Guilty Gear Strive collabs actually. A lot of really cool stuff. Their Bridget jacket is really nice, a nice like Robin's Egg blue. Their biking jacket is definitely a sexy piece of gear. But I got their white Windstriker gear instead because the jacket is really nice. Has a really nice profile, especially when it's unzipped. You use only the front flap buttons, along with like a tactical belt to go with it. The only piece I'm missing now is like a pair of like cargo pants. A nice pair of cargo pants to go with it, to go with an all white like inner black ensemble. And that'd be really nice. I want to, now that I'm properly losing weight, I definitely need to wear stuff that's less about like hiding the form of my body, just like feeling good and fashionable, right? Because it's good for your mental health. Looking good feels good, and therefore it's good for your brain. And tricking my brain to feeling good despite the workload I have ahead of me on a week-to-week basis feels like it could be really important for my long-term health and career sustainability, you know? Feeling confident in myself. Also, like cargo pants with a tech jacket, yes, it's very practical, but also just looks good with a tactical jacket. Here, I will link it to you actually, because it's a really nice piece of gear. I really like this jacket. It is the Windstriker Hyper White by M. Rage. It's just a really good jacket. It also was really expensive. It was my present to myself for losing 50 pounds. Because now I can actually fit that jacket. I tested it. It zips up properly, everything, which is not something I could have claimed 50 pounds ago. But it's just a really sick looking jacket with a really nice profile when you use only the buttons. You can put away the hood. GG, what's up? What's up? Welcome to the stream. I just talking about my reward to myself for losing a whole bunch of weight. The link I put into chat is the M. Rage Astro Systems Windstriker Hyper White jacket, which is just a nice bit of gear with a really nice silhouette. And all I really need to do to complete the look now is to complete it with a pair of nice techie cargo pants. And that would be nice. Yep. They are expensive. Let's not pretend otherwise. But these are also not things you buy like 50 pieces to stuff into your closet, right? You buy like one set to look really good when you want to show off, and that'll be like your signature look. You can complement it with alternative stuff over time. Like eventually you might be spending a lot of money, but right now you really just want that one, like not for like formal wear, right? This is not like a suit you bring to something, but if you want to look impressive in like a social setting, then you have like one signature look to you, right? And that's how I plan to play out. I bought a bunch of like Korean like KN95 face masks that have a really nice silhouette to them as well to complement the look, inspired by the actual like Windstriker like model as well. And I'm thinking about some accessories to go with it just to give it a little bit of extra funk. I'm also thinking to myself, once I get to the point where I hit my weight goal, I'm going to have to either get a smaller jacket, which is not practical, or I do something cooler than that. I can do something a lot cooler than that. I can 3D print out customizations to the jacket to add things like tightening straps around the waist and around the arms, and cut through and either glue or attach otherwise anchor points to the jacket for further customizations. And it will be a piece that's completely unique to me that way. I might actually butcher a $90 jacket that way, but I think I know my way around the ways that people do it. And if there's nothing else, there are plenty of YouTube and TikTok tutorials for how to do that without completely ruining your jacket and for getting the look you want when working with that kind of material. So I'm very, very much looking forward to that. It's one thing to buy a jacket. It's another thing to make a jacket your own, you know? And that goes with the rest of the ensemble I'm planning to get. And it's nice to have something to look forward to as like a goal, you know, like a tangible goal that isn't just to lose weight for the sake of losing weight. It isn't something that nebulous about like getting healthier, because you don't really appreciate how good you feel at a certain level of fitness if you're not at a certain level of fitness. You're just focused at the here and now, where you are now, because you can't really like conceptualize the state outside of like your current level of fitness, right? It's really hard to get your brain to imagine that sort of like relative fitness, or like relative, like that's that point where you're like taking certain things advantage that currently hurt or ache or otherwise tire you out. But having something more tangible to anchor your health goals towards makes achieving those health goals a lot easier. It also means that it's also why I chose Stepmania in the first place and chose to invest heavily into getting a proper pad to play Stepmania with, because one, I know that I could achieve that level of play where I would require a metal pad before. I did as a kid, basically. And two, I know that game-based exercises are a lot easier to sustain over time, right? It's a lot easier to commit yourself to play an hour's worth of Stepmania than it is for you to train an hour's worth of dumbbells every single time, or to just run around your neighborhood for an hour. It is a pain in the butt every single time. But playing Stepmania is easy. It's just fun, and you have cool songs to play with. So, I still have a long way to go, though. That's just the simple truth of it. I have a long way to go before I get to the point where I'm playing at the same level as I was as a kid. I used to be able to do like max 300 to successful completion as a kid, which to me is just bonkers now, because that's one of the hardest songs on old like DDR Extreme sets. Well, maybe I can do it now. Maybe. Have I reached that level of fitness? I have no idea. Worth trying though. Worth trying. Maybe I should download like a DDR song pack to try it out. Man, these M-Raid stuff is just so cool. I wish I just wish there's a little less cheesecake. It would be a little more convenient. Although, ooh, this fight tag, this $7 fight tag, it looks really nice actually. Maybe I should get this. A keychain tag. Maybe not. I only have a reason to get it, but I do like having a tag that says "remove before fight." You know, I just like put it on the zipper, and then like as I rip it off, yeah, time to go, right? That's a nice mood. Also, it looks like it's made of some thick cloth material. That's really nice, but it's out of stock, so never mind. God damn it! I hope they have a shop at Evo with this stuff. That would be nice. They're always out of stock. The problem with drop shipping like fashion is that the stuff that is supposed to be sustainable, that isn't just like a Shein fast fashion bullshit, is hard to keep in stock because of how manufacturing works in the here and now. Given that people are unable to make things affordable enough to risk it not selling out, so they only ship like certain amount of items and then like targeted specifically to how much they know they can sell out within an X amount of time. And if it happens to be in stock afterwards, then you're lucky if you're a buyer. If not, too bad. They made the money that they're expecting to. Speaking of Shein, though, I heard that they're actually in legal trouble now. They've been sued for organizing a whole bunch of shell companies to steal like content for others to put on their clothing brands. Which, hey, go for the people behind the lawsuit. Shein is an evil company. Like unabashedly a sweatshop organization. They did not pretend to be otherwise. What else? Yeah. What else to say about this week's episode? It's been tough, and I'm really looking forward to Evo right now. I just really need to not feel so stressed from work. It's whatever, though. It's whatever. I just gotta keep on grinding. I just wish I didn't need to grind so damn hard. Let me see. Right now it's July, August, September, October. So like 5 months left in the year. That's a lot. So about 4.5 months before that 2-week vacation we get mandatory. Yeah. Let me check my calendar. I'm thinking that this week is going to be pretty busy again work-wise. Yeah, multiple early morning meetings. Although it does look like I have Monday and Thursday. Laying some 30 minutes on the bed, clearing the head. Nah, more like staring at the screen playing TFT for another 45 minutes. Half an hour to 45 minutes. Like, just a little bit away from gold on TFT. And I need to play a lot more fighting games too, because I've been just liking all that. It's like a little burnout on it. But I've like really happened to have to give to reminder for Evo, and then basically 2 weeks before Evo proper. I'm very much looking forward to that. All paid up and everything. But yeah, to scout ahead for what I'm going to be doing this week, it does look like I will be able to do content on or at least stream on Twitch on Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That should give me a good spread of days to practice all 3 fighting games on, to really like get my drills in, right? That's just the main thing. I just really gotta crank out the things that I need to practice. But yeah, no, that'll do. The week after isn't too bad either. I just have a whole bunch of ugly meeting blocks. That's throughout the work day rather than anything else. I'm also not expecting anything major for the next 2 weeks. I would like to check with friends to see if they can do a couple collabs or stuff. The writing is in a standstill at the moment. GG. I was actually talking about this earlier. I do want to finish up the second short story I've been working on, but I don't know. I released that first short story when I was in between jobs, right? Oh no, I was working on that first short story while I was in between jobs. And now that I'm fully employed, I'm just really stressed out with the current job. I haven't really had the capacity to put any brain cells towards working on the second one. Like, I finished the original draft of story 2 months and months ago, but it really needs to be rewritten in full. Just like from the ground up. It's not in the position where I would be proud of releasing it. I can voice it, get the assets together, everything. It's been written to the point where it can be released, but it needs to be. But it's not a story I'm particularly happy with. And in order to be a good writer in the first place, you have to go through basically drafting editorial processes. So I'm not disappointed in myself for not having a story ready to go on first draft. I'm just thinking it's going to be a lot of work, which it is, to get the second and maybe even third drafts done. Because that's what's going to take for that story to reach an overall quality that I'm happy with. And I have had no time at all to put any brain cells towards that work during the time that I've been working for this company, especially during the summer when the industry is at the busiest it is for the entire year. Like, I actually did do a little bit of dabbling with it earlier in the year after I released the first story. It's how the second story got written at all, because the industry just simply wasn't nearly as busy, and I was also a lot more junior, and therefore they expected less of me. But now I just have so much work. Fuck. But I'm thinking after Evo, things will chill a little bit more. Actually, no. I'm thinking after Gamescom especially, things will chill a lot more. Gamescom pretty much caps out. Well, no. There will be, in a few more months, there will be the ramp up towards the Game Show Awards and holiday season especially, right? That's just the worst of it. Well, that's still months away. So I suspect, at least I'm anticipating, after Evo, things will have calmed down a little bit and allowed me more time to work on stuff, right? It'll also be after Evo means that I will not be playing nearly as much fighting games, because I'll not be trained towards anything specifically. I still want to play them often, especially on new patch days, because I love fighting games, period. It's not as if I'm playing this strictly for content reasons. It's not as if enough people watch me for that to be true. I just love fighting games in general. I love the overall philosophy behind them. And after Evo, especially after Evo announcements, we know that there's going to be a huge wave of new fighting game content to go through. And I plan to do a lot of coverage on that in general, just for my own happiness, for my own satisfaction. Which is why you should be doing content like this, if you ever think about doing content creation. It should be the main motivator for doing it. It just makes you happy to do this kind of shit. And it does. I really enjoy this, which is why I keep on doing this, even though I've only got like one paycheck on Twitch for so far, and I'm nowhere near a partner for YouTube. but I will be curtailing it so I'm not doing only fighting games content for weeks on it at a time after Evo. And writing and storytelling, shit like that, that will be part of the content. I might even dabble a little bit in like ASMR style, like fanfiction reading for stuff, right? Just like finding things that I've been impressed on the quality of writing for, or conversely impressed with how much of a meme it is, and just doing some read-alongs, and that should be fine. It's also good, like speaking practice, to do those kind of streams, you know. If you're a streamer, having the occasional like focus stream speaking practice is probably a very good thing to do. And I earnestly hope that in the coming months, up until like the major end of year holiday season, I will have the time and mental energy after work to be able to do those things. And if I don't, then I have to think long and hard about how I can either reorganize content or find a new line of employment to that doesn't stress me out nearly as much. If that's even a viable option, you know. Like, if I even have the luxury to consider such things. Because who knows what the market is going to be like. Fundamentally, my generation just does not have any amount of luck when it comes to how the job market is going to be for us. Especially not as writers. We've really taken up the wrong end for the last few years. Last many years, really. But for now, as I wrap things up here on my end, yeah, it's still gotta be more fighting games. I have 2 weeks left. I have 2 more weeks left of training. I took it easy this week just to like not burn out. So the next 2 weeks really have to grind. Really gotta crack down on it. I'll be playing even during my free time. And that will be what you can expect from my Twitch streams. Remember to follow me on both Twitch and Twitter and co-host and Tumblr and of course now Threads. All under the name Lucian Zenner. I've managed to secure, like, it's not as if anybody's ever going to take this name, right? There's no way like anybody else is going to try to take this name for content. So it'll be very easy to find me on all other social media platforms, because I have no confidence whatsoever that Twitter is going to last for very long. Who is your secondary character for? I can't tell if that's going to be, if that is ST for Strife or ST for Street Fighter, to be honest. If you mean Street Fighter, I don't have a secondary character because I am not good enough at any one character to claim anybody as a secondary. For Strive, it's just Nagaryuki. I can play Nagaryuki effectively blindfolded. I can play it better than a lot of people I'm playing against on the ladder right now, because I'm very, very familiar with his ins and outs. Straight up. Like, I know how to cancel into that shit all day long. All day long and twice on Sundays. If I have to play a brawler, and I think I need more, like, one-hit pressure, I can switch to Nagaryuki any day of the week. Although I should make sure I actually practice combos every once in a while just to have it in the pocket, right? That's just how it is. He has some devastatingly one-sided matches that Bridget has to struggle a little more through. Conversely, there are definitely some things I never want to play Nagaryuki into. Testament and Happy Chaos fundamentally are not Nagaryuki friendly. They are the sheer opposite of Nagaryuki friendly. But yeah, other than that, that's all for now, for this week. Make sure to follow me on all social media platforms under Lucian Zenner. I will be streaming, of course, as usual, on Twitch. And I really need to find the time to break down a couple of the streams I did last week and the week before into clips, for short form video content, and to do more short form video content in general. If the funny thing is, I've been watching less TikTok lately simply because I don't have the time to do so. Because one of the main reasons why I watch TikTok is actually work related, but I haven't been put on the task lately because I had no time for that task. It's one of our lowest priorities at the moment. So I need to go over what's trending at the moment before I make more content. It's just another thing to add on to my calendar. And also, along with everything else, find the time to play more Stepmania and use the battle rope more often. Man, I'm busy. I'm just so busy. But it's always busy with the same old stuff. I hope to change it up, you know? Hope to keep things interesting for y'all. But until then, I will see you probably tomorrow for streams. Check social media for my schedule tomorrow morning. And otherwise, yes, as you said, take care as always. Take care of yourselves. Keep things interesting. And as always, my friends, eat well.